Hello and welcome to the next episode of my editing tutorials. Today we're just going to have a little look into a few different ways of cloning unwanted bits and pieces out of your shot. So this is one of my images I shot on New Year's morning. It was a very grey overcast day, so the session was spent looking at some tidy compositions where there's not a lot of distraction, but you've got something nice and focused within the front of the shot. But less about that, but what we want to be doing here is when I took this shot, I had these two intentions: either keeping the shot square, so the crop's going to be coming down either side of these posts, but once I got home and saw the image, I kind of liked all the space around it as well, and how it was uniformed on both sides with all the whites of the water, the weight and the balance, how it all sort of flows, and it just sits really well for how I like my work to be. But unfortunately there's these bits of distractions here on the left and on the right of the frame as well. So for me, I think I wanted to get rid of those out of the frame because it looked a little bit untidy, and it was kind of pulling the eye out there to the left and to the right, not into the centre where those watermarks are running through the posts and around the posts around here as well. So quick and easy ways to be getting rid of unwanted bits and pieces, and this can apply to so many things in Photoshop. It's nice and straightforward. So as always, start with a new layer, so Control J, that's going to create you a new layer down here, and then Control 1, because we need to zoom in to be able to see where we're working as well. And what we can use really easily on here is the spot healing brush tool. We'll select on here. This needs to be selected to a rough sort of size of what, a little bit of space around it of the object that you're going to be getting rid of as well. And as simple as click on there, that's going to disappear. Make the brush a little bit bigger, and with a bit of luck we should just be able to run this straight over what it is we're trying to get rid of. And we can see that's cleared it out pretty well. It's left a little tiny bit of a mark there where it's sort of replicated where what was ever behind it as well. So what I tend to do, you can either use the clone on here from a certain area, or you can then come onto here, get the opacity not on 100%, and this is obviously your spot healing brush. You need to press Alt now, so hold down Alt, set the area where you're wanting to be taking your clone from, and just very quickly we can just run that over there, and you can see that line has just carried on that we had over here as well. So this line's just run through the frame now. Now when we jump out of the frame, we're on there, one's gone straight away, and again Control 1 again just to zoom in 100% as well. A few ways we can be looking into this one here as well. So we've got the boat, which is up here, which is fairly large, so we could try and lose the boat by itself. A couple of clicks on here using the spot healing brush, and boat's gone, horizon's still there as well, so we've managed to get rid of that. And then we can then use the lasso tool, and we can there's a few versions of this in here as well, so it's entirely up to you how you want to do this, keeping it kind of close around, but you need to be careful. You're going to get in any shadow, any darker bits of the frame, any reflections, so you're coming around the edges, up the side there, back in, just bring it down a little bit, and here we go. Join that back up to where you started from, so you've now got your selection around the actual item on there, and then right click on your mouse, and from here you will go down to fill, and then you've got content aware on here, 100% opacity as well. Click on OK. It's going to use its intelligence of inside of itself in order to make a selection of where the area is going to be selected to tidy it up, remove all the clutter from as well. Just deselect that by right clicking as well, and on here we just need to tidy it up a little bit as well, and we can just come in here. So we're using the clone brush that we just used a second ago, and instantly we can see by choosing the right sort of selection, so you need to be somewhere nearby so you've got the similar sort of exposure as well. Control 0, and we can see straight away both bits are now gone off of the frame. And as always, before you go to save your image, the idea if you wanted to flatten your image, so Control E, image is selected, and that's all done. So there you go, that's everything done for today. I hope you enjoyed this really quick session, but each week I'm going to try and do something slightly different, and yeah, it's different little editing little tips and little hacks, little pieces that are going to help you out with your workflow, stuff that I use, how I use it, And with everything with Photoshop and Lightroom, there's a million and one ways of doing the same thing. So yeah, it may work for you, it might not work for you, but it's my preferred workflow, so I'm happy with how I work like this. So yes, like again, if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, remember to hit that subscribe button, and yeah, and feel free to share. All the best and take care.